Check, check. Welcome in, team. Welcome in. Thanks for jumping in right away on time. Always appreciated. Get those requests in right away if you want to be first up. And you got to stick around. Help me go over it. I don't want to be going over stuff if no one's here. So if you got to jet out early, yep, Ardeen, we'll definitely SPY QQ. Always start with that for sure. Couple things to look at, couple things to talk about, no doubt. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Seems like they always go too fast. AMKR. Oh, and also let me know, guys, if you're like usual, are you looking at the setup? Are you already in your big green, or are you in and you're down? Because it kind of helps me. Obviously, you can unmute your mic when I get to it, but just kind of helps me say, hey, you should be selling here or averaging here or stopping out. Let's see, RTK. Looking again, leaps, all right. Cool. Full house tonight, or at least for me, 21, 22 people, gotta love that. Lots of regulars like usual. Yep, we're definitely going to be looking at SPY QQQ. So get those names in, guys. Give it 1 or 2 more minutes. We'll definitely dive in as we look at this beautiful but ugly, if you're in longs, daily chart that wiped out 11 days worth of trading. But look at that. Have no fear. We've gobbled half of that back up. We'll see if it holds. We shall see. But 1 or 2 more minutes. Let people file in here. But it looks like we pretty much got everybody we always do. So 1 more server ping. We'll dive in. Cool. All right, welcome in, guys. My name is StartedWith. If you guys are new or newer, I'm one of the staff members here. I do the Sunday scans and have my own tab, kind of focus on the smaller port stuff under $100. So if you guys are new, welcome in. But I see a lot of regular faces in here. So glad to have you guys put in the work week after week. First and foremost, obviously Friday, very, very ugly day. Unfortunately, I think it caught a lot of people off sides. There wasn't There wasn't a bunch of sneaky flow hits that I seen that seemed like people were expecting or waiting on a tweet, and it seems like a lot of people are caught off sides, and just some hard trigger sales to the downside, and then people trying to catch the bounces. It worked in spots, but ultimately staying bearish on the day. Obviously, it's hindsight. We can look back at it. But yeah, so a couple things real quickly, guys. Obviously, it's a down day. It was bad. I got a bunch of DMs, not a bunch, but a handful of DMs from people. They're down really bad. Some people blew the report. Some people just literally want to quit after that. So hang in there, guys. This happens, but it is a reminder. No matter what, no matter how big your win streak is, you got to have stop losses on it. Doesn't matter. If it's a leap position, November, December position, you got to have a stop loss on, because some of this could have been saved. But yeah, so hard sell down, you guys, on SPY, QQQ, and obviously the rest of the market. But want to focus on where we bounced here, at least in the after hours trading session, where we're bouncing, where I think we're going. I kind of had a game plan up here, but it looks like as of now we're over that. I'm going to zoom in on a smaller time frame chart. Just hang with me, and I do see all your guys' requests rolling in here. We'll do them in order as usual, but real quick market recap. So after our session, this previous all-time high zone that I just kept all-time highs marked here, that's what I had focused on. I would show you guys, but it looks like we've already bounced that zone, this zone down into here, and we were now over. What I was going to say is, on the way up, you guys, every support broken on the way down is resistance on the way up. And if this big ass move holds, my focus tomorrow, I'm not going to say it's simple, but it is very, very basic. So since we're over that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to color this. I thought this was going to be resistance on the way up, but as of now, we're gapping over it. So I'm going to color the screen quickly so you guys can visualize my focus for the week on how I trade. Breakout, retest, breakdown, retest, stuff like that. Again, 4-hour chart here. We can see this consolidation, cluster, breakout, retest, breakover, consolidation, breakout, sell through it. That was really what I was worried about if we didn't open over that during this class. But as of now, we're opening over that. So my focus this week for you guys, what I want you to pay attention to, a little too zoomed in, let me focus in here. This zone here, this basically, 657 to 658, that little pocket, this green zone that I have drawn. So any holds this week, you guys, barring any news, any dips into that, I think we should be bullish on the day and looking to buy dips across the board. Again, this is SPY, the ETF, so it's tracking the 500 biggest companies. So unless it's just big tech and a couple names holding, any bounces and holds of this, I'm personally not looking to be bearish on the day, unless obviously I see something on my watch list that kind of goes against the market. We've seen that quite a bit. It can happen on any name, but with that holding, that's what I want to see this week, just for basically kind of a confidence boost that there are some buyers stepping in and they're holding the zone that matters. And that green zone is really what matters to me. If that holds this week, definitely look for a push to 662 to 663, this pocket up here. And actually, I'm going to move this up just to be ready for that. So again, you guys, open your mic if you have any questions or it's kind of confusing, but I want to see this hold this week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all through the week. That gives me confidence that we can push and we can chip away at this big down move. Do we get back up here, a day and a week? I have no idea, but I want to see this hold because we can see when this fails, that selling pressure that kicks in. So any sales or gaps under this, whether it comes later in the week, I'm short-term bearish again, because that is a huge support level that has been broken. On the upside, you guys, do not chase. If we open here and we push right up to here, do not chase calls at this 662 to 663 pocket. If you're scalping with River and VC, that's fine. He knows what he's doing. He can kind of navigate you guys through these levels here, but I do not want to see people, oh, we're bullish, we're going to pump the whole day. We open right at here, you take calls, we get a fake pushover, reject, and we come down somewhere into here, you average down, and now Friday was a huge loss, and now Monday's a big loss for you, back-to-back days. We do not want that. So that is my focus this week. Any questions on SPY? I'm going to go over QQQ quickly, and then we'll dive into watch list from you guys because we have quite a bit rolling in. All right, don't see any direct questions. Yep, all right, cool. So same thing. Oh, 4-hour chart here. 1 second. So that's my focus. A little bit different zone, but we're kind of in the middle of that zone on tech. So again, tech usually leads the way. SPY can be sideways or down, and tech can be up. So just something to watch here. But big tech, that 589.3 to basically this 591, 591.15 pocket. You can see we kind of struggle in here. We fail to get over. We see some selling pressure to the downside. But when it holds, what do? When we see buyers kicking hard. We see buyers kicking hard. They bounce. The bottom of these wicks here. So any hold of that, I'm not wanting to get in puts until we come back down underneath that zone there. But I want to see a bounce and a push up. And again, for me, this is only a scalp zone in here. I don't want people getting overly bullish or overly bearish in here because a push up can be easily wicked down to the bottom side. But I need to see us clear this 591. Okay, and so breakouts retest. We don't really have a super good example just from this price action here, but obviously in hindsight, this candle here in a smaller time frame, we opened over it, we tested it, we bounced, we proven a hold. So that's basically what I want to see here on QQQ. But any sells under 589, I'm looking to be bearish on the day, or whatever day that comes during the week. So something to watch there. But now to your watch list, you guys. Again, going in order as we always do. Who was it? Israel D wants to look at AMKR. And let's see, did they have comments on that? Feel free to unmute if you want to talk over this trade, so I kind of know what you're looking at here. I don't see anything in the comment section. I kind of want to know what you're in, if you're in it or looking at it. That way I can kind of help you out here. So let's take a look at the daily. I'll wait for you to reply in the chat or unmute. Okay. 32.39 called expire. All right, let's see. Yeah, so Friday probably hurt you just a little bit. So let me zoom out here, kind of see where we're stopping on the day. Let me get some drawings up here for you. 10:17. Oh, so that's this week. So now you got weekend theta working against you too. Actually like this over here. So again, guys, I don't like telling people to average down, especially on short dated stuff. But if you or somebody else swung over the weekend and you're already going to take the theta hit, something like this is worth watching at the open. But again, if I tell you, to take an average here, that is in hopes that you get the move tomorrow. I don't want you to endlessly average down, average down, average down. And here comes Friday. Now you're in too heavy. We've been just chopping around here. Now you're down even more. So the point of an average down at a big support level when you're already red is for, first and foremost, the average down to be correct. And you turn instantly green on that average down. Doesn't always happen. But the worst thing you can do, and this goes for anybody's setup, not just this person's setup, but this is a spot worth watching here. As of now, low volume, but we got a little bit of a gap up. But this spot in here, like I said, you already swung. You're going to open even more red than 65%. I hate to say it just because of weekend theta. But again, I'm not telling people to just hold for deep or even deeper losses. But if you do take an average here, what you want to see happen is an instant bounce, an instant green on that average down. And then, this whole zone up here, where you're down red 65, 70%, whatever it is, you're chewing and you're making a little bit of that back. So what you can do, again, is you can just cut the open, move on from the loss, figure out, just move on from it and make some money up on some new trades. Or if you take an average here, again, you want to see some instant green, instant bounce. If you take an average here and we sell through, you got to cut because your original entry is really, really red, and now your new entry is red as well. And you cannot just keep averaging down, because the whole way down, you could have just flipped and gotten to puts. So do not keep holding calls averaging down over and over and over. It's got to make sense where you take it, and you got to have some mental toughness, because you got to hit that sell button when it's just not working for you. But send me a DM if you need more help on this one. But it's at a big support. But like I said, I wish you got in somewhere down here. You're like, hey, I'm down 12%. Should I average down? that'd be a more realistic situation. I'd feel better telling someone to take an average down. All right. RTK, who was that? Jeremiah. All right. Looking to get in leaps. RTK. I'm actually, is this one that I'm in? We may have to skip this. I don't know what is with this ticker, man, but I think I'm in. Is this one around $17 right now? Let me check on my phone. I don't know why this doesn't load. There's something going on last week. I could not check the chart on this. So we may have to come back this one, brother. Let me check my positions. I think I'm in this one too. But if it is, I'm sorry. We're going to have to just talk in DMs. I do not know why this. Yeah. RKT, maybe. Am I an idiot? But still, it was not loading. Yeah, look at this. So I'm zooming out to the daily, and it won't let me auto zoom. It does not let me. I don't know what's going on with this chart. So I'm sorry about that. Like I cannot zoom on this. I tried to like check my position last week, and I cannot look at the past 2 days. I go to SPY, and I can zoom all day long. So let's talk in DMs, Jeremiah. I'm sorry about that. I don't know what the hell's wrong with that chart. But yeah, I cannot. I don't know what's up with that chart. There's something going on. All right. Feel free to throw another one in the chat if you're looking at it. I'll get to it when I can. All right, did that one. All right, you listed a bunch here. This person, so I'm gonna start with what I see first. APLD, looking at bullish entry swings. All right, let's take a look at it. Feel free to unmute if you want to. Nice breakout, a little bit of a dip here. Let's take a look at the daily. Ooh, all right. Weekly, all-time highs. But you want to look at it, so we'll do it. We'll take a look. So this is definitely breakout retest territory for me. So I'm gonna grab the top side of this weekly wick right here. I'm gonna grab that, and I'm gonna see. So we closed under that on the week. So that it's not super bearish, but you don't want to see that for a bullish position chasing. Let me see if I can get some price action here. How far I gotta zoom back to see a good back test level here for you. Let me see how far. We gotta zoom if we can catch that. The 4 hours not gonna let me. All right, daily. What can we get on the daily here? Looking for a couple bounce entries 10 years back. That should be good. All right, that's kind of what I want to see here. So got some wick action there and there as well. So I like to play off of the reaction to these wicks to the up and to the downside. So we'll see what this does here. So I'm looking, back test is what we want out of this here. So get rid of this Zoom chat here. All right, so breakout retests, first and foremost, you want to be bullish, love it, but it's got to be at the right spot. And so for me, the right spot, how I see this on APLD. So a breakout retest. So a breakout of a level in a retest. That is my bread and butter trading. I'm going to talk about this week with Tosi. I think it's just the easiest, bare bones, dummy proof trading style to get into or technique to try. So a breakout and retest at 34.26 because that's a reclaim of a support that failed us, but a retest saying, when we retest a level, it is buyers taking over. It is sellers that are kind of weak and giving up, whatever you want to call it. So sellers to the downside are giving up short term based on that move here. So a break and retest of this level here. And then you just look at past weekly levels. So if you get an entry here and you're instant green, people say, where do I sell? How do I sell? The bottom side of these wicks, the top side of these wicks, the high of the week, the high of previous day, all these pre-market levels. I see easy, 65-cent move, whatever that is, up to here to this 35 flat, target one, up to these top wicks here, because look at a breakdown retest. We rejected there. So what makes you think we're going to break out here? Quit trying to time the breakouts and trim there like a smart trader. We break out, boom, that's your new stop down there off of target 2. And then we go for target 3 would probably be high of the week, target 3 up here. So very, very tradable setup. This is kind of tricky no man's land into here, this 32.7 to 34.2. But any break below this, I'm bearish for possible swings and day trade to the downside to go get this 30 flat level there. So very, very tradable chart, but have some patience with it. But again, any holds that level there, and I think you're golden on that for sure.
Staring bonds that have been heavily damaged. Floyd.
All right, quick mute. Appreciate that, Brian. No worries. Kevin, you still in here? He is. AT&T. I'm in this one. I'm getting smacked down just a little bit. I think I'm in some November 21s. I entered here at this 26 or maybe 27. Kevin, you in this one or just looking again? Let me know, brother, or you can unmute if you want. December, cool. December, January calls. Where did you enter on the chart, if you recall? We can definitely, there's 2 big levels here that we're probably both red, but honestly, man, if it's holding, I'm not too concerned here. But for me, I'm in November. My stop is under this 25.5 pocket here. We got some downside wicks that sliced it, but to me, it's just a break of a structure because we already got this trend line break of structure, which is not lovely. Breakdown underneath it, retest it, rejected. But for me, this lower green zone here, Kevin, oops, wrong. There we go. I'm on the daily chart here. Yeah. So I want to see bare minimum this week. For me, I got to see this hold. Hopefully it doesn't come down here. I know there's obviously some levels in between. We pushed up to this 26.10. I thought it was game on, but obviously Friday's price action. So let me look here at an intraday chart, see if we're gapping up at all on this guy. Not really. So what I'm kind of looking for here is, unfortunately, I think for us, could be wrong, been wrong before. I think we kind of step down into here, but this is the level to hold, and we got earnings coming up 2 weeks. So gets a little risky, but we got some long dated calls. But really for me, it's just a reclaim of supports on the way up. So we're stepping down. I got these big levels. I'm not sure if you're super good at charting, but 27.46, 27 flat, 26.63, 26.10. The 26.10 is big for me. Again, I have not taken an average yet. I'm still in just a partial position size, but I'm looking for a reclaim of that and a hold for this week, or a bounce into here. But this is a hard cut underneath here for me. I think you'd probably agree on the daily. That's a spot to watch. You entered September 29th. Perfect. So yeah, you entered maybe about the same time as me, somewhere around there. Yeah, I entered some up on this 26, but all moving averages are overhead. Don't love that. Not going to sugarcoat that. Daily 200, daily 9 and 20 are all overhead. So, but again, quick look here on the daily. It's ugly, but I think if you're in a partial position, it makes sense to take an average. But again, keep your position size. If you only want to put $500 in this trade, stick with that. Don't get too heavy, because then you're gonna have too much money tied up. It's just, we could just chop here for a week or two. So definitely that spot to watch there for sure. Perito, I think I'm saying your name correctly. Sorry if I'm not. We talk a lot in DMs. It's hard to say. A longer time frame close for sure, like 30-minute, 1 hour, because morning volatility, it's tricky. You can get a hard wick down to 5 minutes, and if you just like, oh, I'm stopping out, and then they buy it back up the next 5-minute candle. So basically, 30-minute, 1 hour, 4-hour candle closes. If I get a 30-minute candle close right by it, or a 1 hour close right by it, I'm not going to stop out. But if I get a 30-minute candle that closes down here, 1 hour close, I'm not going to wait for the next 30-minute candle to see if we bounce. Like that's 30 minutes of, buyers could not reclaim that level. So it's kind of a quick thing. It's hard to answer for everything. It just kind of depends, because that morning volatility we've seen back and forth, even at the close, stuff looks like it wants to break out, and then boom, it just reverses for sure. All right, make sure I didn't miss anything on this watch list here. Got AT&T, perfect. Errol, let's look at NVO. Buy the dip in shares or options. All right. Zoom out. We got some lines here from somebody. Ooh, I like that. Wait, where'd we? 56. Did we talk about this one not too long ago on shares? I don't remember. If we did, we got something going down here constructive, but clear as day. Lower, each dip of the low is higher, so higher lows, as we like to say, is being set. Probably a pretty nice trend line. Let's see if we catch all the bounces. We got 2 bounces. Yep, we're gonna go ahead and draw this one here. All right, and let's go intraday here. So shares for sure. A zoomed out look to see where we're at here. I got these lines for something for someone. So yeah, basically a sell down of 2022, the year 2022, this nice range here, $9 range, sold through it and just grinded and climbed our way back up. And now all resistance overhead are now supports below us. So gotta love that. So basically this price action here, breakout consolidation retest, doesn't mean it's going to move like this, but at the bare minimum, yeah, nibble on some shares here. And again, going to use my dummy drawing. If we buy in here, if we were to buy tomorrow, you know, what is your risk to the support down 6%, 10.6, and then 16% down here. A little bit larger than losses I like to take on shares, 16%. But if you were to play it smart and you're not rushing on this arrow, and you basically kind of nibble 25% here, 25% here, 20. So if you want to buy $1,000 on this, 250 bucks, 250 bucks, 250 bucks. So your shares is going to matter. Like you're going to buy less shares here because it's more. You're going to buy more shares, more shares, more shares. Your dollar cost average on the way down is going to be, you know, fairly decent. So you're not going to be down 16% by the time you nibble down here. So you can nibble on some shares 4 times, but again, break at this level here and that gets ugly. You do not want to be holding there. That's a break of, you know, probably 52-week lows. That low from the August, we do not want to keep holding. But if you nibble here and it holds, you can take a couple buys into here, or you can just roll with what you have. If you have a 25% position size, or like a 33% position size, just roll with it. There's times I just do a partial buy-in, you guys, and stuff just moves already, and that's just how it is. That was this what I was in? No, this was something different. All right, so a zoomed in look here. Yeah, that 56. We bounced in the after hour session. It's holding. So perfect setup for you here, Errol. And anyone else watching this trade is clear as day. If there's good liquidity for options, you buy that dip. We're on the daily. We've seen that 56 was big, and we have a trend line underneath. So 1 support, 2 forms of support right there. Absolutely. But if that breaks and trend line breaks, I am short-term bearish, like I see on most setups, because, you know, we broke that level. Yeah, there's $3 in between here. It could bounce anywhere and reclaim it. But for me, a big support on the daily reclaims. I'm patient, or I'm taking puts to the downside. So nice setup though, nice request. Right, let's see. Kevin, gonna skip Boeing just for now. I want to make sure everyone gets in here. Veronica, are you still in here? You are. Let's take a look at Hood. If you're in it or just want to set up, let me know. Feel free to unmute your mic or type in the chat. Let's see what we got here. Because I don't know if you're wanting to be in shares or leaps, but all right. Want to add more shares? Cool. All right. I think this all-time high zones, right? Yep. So let's look at the daily. Let's actually 4-hour intraday. Nice retest. So shares, if it's a long-term hold, if I'm up big, I don't know what, you don't have to say what percent you're up. If you're not comfortable, don't want to, that's fine. If I'm up big on a position, I typically don't add. I don't, you know, raise my dollar cost average. I just roll with what I have and pat myself on the back for buying under 100 or whatever it is that you could be in. But if you bought it up here or you sold some and maybe you're red now, definitely we can look for some buys in, a rebuy in for sure, because nice structure right into this zone here. Oh, thinkorswim, why did you do that? Sorry about that, guys. I like this zone here for sure. So drawing mode, please stay in drawing mode. And on the way up, all these wicks and candle body closes, opens and closes, where we see these zones here. And just looking here, trying to line up. I try to get the most touches possible. I like this one better here because we sold through a little bit of a candle fake out below, but one touch, two touch, tweezer bottoms there on the top side wick there. So definitely, again, this is all-time high zone. Me and my trading style, I don't, even if it's a long-term hold, I want to get a deeper sell, a deeper dip, I'll be honest with you. So you did mention some shares. So really, I don't think, this is an 18% dip down to here, but it's crazy to say that like Hood is never going to be at 120 ever again in its life. But for me, that consolidation breakdown, I would love to nibble on some shares down here in these 120s. Again, you can nibble up here at this 142, but again, if it's a long-term hold for you, you got to decide, okay, do I want to sit 16% red, or should I nibble down some shares down into here? But for me, I'll be honest, it's just, I don't like to buy stuff all-time highs or close. Again, yeah, I could be holding this for 20 years, but I want to buy and be green right away. Yeah, you can buy here and it can just go more, but I want to see a little bit of consolidation, or at least a little bit more of a dip here. Not saying we'll get it. Market's been super bullish, but I like this 146, 142, or this 147, 137, excuse me. You can see clears day, bounces all day long. Take a screenshot if you want, or write those down. But for me, I would love some buys down into here, and I'm actually gonna get just an alert down into here. So maybe in a week, in a month, 2 months, 3 months, maybe kind of nibble back down into there for sure. See where we're at. Hope that helps you. If not, send me a DM. Scotty did well in a trade from Sunday Scan. That's what it's about, man. It's teamwork in here. We chart it together. We say, hey, let's take an entry here, and you guys follow that. I love that. Those are the best messages and DMs we could ever ask for. Looking at NVIDIA puts, general thoughts. Let's see. Let's make sure if we're shorting it, it makes sense where to short it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We're bouncing, but if you want to short a top, I'll show you where I would do it. All right. 4-hour chart. Let's see if we can sneak down to 1 hour. Still get some good price action. Yep. All right. You guys know how I like to trade. Breakout, retest, breakdown, retest. You know where I'm going with this. Somewhere up here in these 189s, 190s, I can already see where I'm going to start getting some levels here where I would short it if I were to do it. And I'll kind of show you why in my thought process. Again, shameless claim. You guys better be there on Wednesday when we talk about our trading styles. It's going to be super important. I've been here 5 years, and I don't think we've ever done a lecture like that. And I'm not just saying that. So it'll be super, super helpful. All right. We are going to focus on this level here and why that matters. Okay. Let's ignore Friday's price action just for 1 second, just for how do I trade, why I like to trade. And this is a perfect example here. So, okay. I push up here. We'll just call it last week, 2 weeks ago. And we push up this 190, 189, 190. Everybody gets super bullish. And these are 1 hour candles. What happens? Failed breakouts. We dip down under. Oh, we're looking good pre-market. Everybody wants to get long at the open. Failed breakout. What happens? What happens every time we fail 189, guys? Do we chop or do we get hard reactions down? Hard reaction down. Hard reaction down. Hard reaction down. Sell, sell, sell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Everyone trades different, but I think it is so, I'm not gonna say stupid. It's just silly to me to watch and look at a chart like this and go, okay, I'm buying calls here. The breakout's happening. Well, it failed multiple times. We look for risk reward. We look for high probability setups. Is this a high probability setup for a breakout? No, it's not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 breakouts. Okay. This is clear as day setup, breakout, retest, breakdown, retest, setup. I'm glad you guys or someone requested this chart. Okay. We want to short the top, not just because it's up too much. We want to short where it makes sense. Where does it make sense, you guys? This is the easiest short opportunity. I'm not saying it's going to work, but I'm saying, people are just looking to buy the dips. Oh, should we buy the dip? Should we buy the dip? We're selling. Well, it's got to make sense where you try and buy the dip. Obviously, you know, this failed, this failed, this failed in hindsight. But again, going back to this, you guys, it can't be any more obvious where when we break down and we retest, this is so easy, you guys. Again, we take our shot. Where do we take our shot? Now it comes down to risk management. We know breakouts are failing here. So any push up, this is how I would trade this. Any push up pre-market. And I start seeing, it's gonna be really ugly drawing. Oops, candle body like this, top side wick, 15-minute. Candle body like this. They push up a little more, but top side wick. So what is this saying here, guys? Buyers are not strong or sellers are strong, or one of the two. Buyers are just weak, kind of just half-assing it, or sellers are saying, nope, we're kicking this down for, what is it, the 6th or 7th time? If I start seeing top side candles like that, I'm absolutely, you take your shot here and your stop out is somewhere in this zone here. So if you're in December puts, your stop out is probably, you're safe on a stop out and a break and hold over the zone here. If you're in weeklies, a 90-cent move against you. So look at the delta. When that delta goes against you 90%, basically, that's how much money you're going to lose. So if a delta is, you know, 50.5, 90% of that is a dollar loss you're going to lose from entering here on a push up, basically, is what it's saying. So that's your stop out somewhere in here, depending on your risk level. But this clear as day, you guys, this is the spot to take your shot on puts. I'm not just saying that because I asked about it. You know, I would say, hey, this is a stupid place to take puts. But again, if you see instant green, where are we selling? Look at this cluster here where it held. Why did it hold there? What is this line? We've only talked about it once tonight. Daily 9 moving average. So we sold down and now we're gapping up. So this is going to stair step something like this. I don't know exactly because it's taking an average from the price movement during the day. That's the spot for sure. You enter here, target 1, no questions asked at the daily 9 moving average, wherever that is. I don't know because we need to let this price action carry over, and then my line will update tomorrow. It's going to do something like that because we had a down day, but we're retracing up. So for sure, target 1, target 2, where are we seeing buybacks on Friday? Somewhere in here. Sneaky 186.10, 186.50. That better be target 2 for sure, because we come back down. We're shorting tops where we see wicks. Why would we hold puts full position in here when we see price action like that from Friday? Buyers stepping in, buyers stepping in, buyers stepping in. Obviously, Friday end of day, they sliced it, but you don't want to be holding puts. You guys are starting to put position when you look left and go, oh, wow, they bounced it there all day long in the afternoon before selling. But super, super clean chart. And to the flip side, you guys, we break out of this after what, 7 failed retests on that downside. What's going to happen when we do break out? A big move to the upside. So do not hold puts. Don't believe me. This was obviously an after hours move. But what happens when we finally cleared this? A big move to the upside. So do not hold puts over 190 on NVIDIA. Do not hold puts. All right. Super good request. Sorry, got a little amped on that one because that's just super, super good setup. Zoom user wants SLNH. Never heard of it. Should be a clean chart. We can do it. SLNH. Solana, I think it is. Solana. Zoom user, are you looking for shares? Are you in this? Looking in the chat here. All right. IPO or just a big breakout? Ooh, damn. Obviously, it's in hindsight, but weekly consolidation down there in a breakout. Zoom user is not in here. They didn't tell me what they wanted. We're skipping it. Not to be rude, but we got a full house tonight. All right. JT, what's up, brother? IWM, let's hit it. What you in on this one? Looking for entry? Already in?
Yeah, I'm looking for an entry.
Cool. Look, are you a swing trader or day trader, man?
I'm looking at swing this one.
Swing. All right, let's check it. So we closed here. We're probably I need to get some more lines for you, so hang with me, but because I don't trade this one a whole lot. Let's go the 1 hour to see where we're bouncing, why we're bouncing. Man, that big green line undefeated. Obviously, it's in hindsight. So I misheard. Did you say you want to get bullish or just looking for perspective on this one?
Yeah, I'm looking to get bullish on it.
Okay, cool. So what I'm seeing here, brother, I like a couple things already, not just saying that because you want to be bullish, but I think we're getting close to a breakout retest zone here. So let's get some lines here, and then we'll zoom to present day. I'll let you look at what I'm looking at here. So kind of this little cluster here from September. So September 11th was here. We're kind of consolidated, back test, bounce, bounce, bounce. And now we're looking at present day. So I like this zone here. Basically the flip side of kind of what we talked about in NVIDIA. So we're on the top side of that on this potential bounce zone here. So we can see we bounce it, we get a nice reaction. We sell through it, we sell down. Every time we're over, we get a nice bounce reaction. So what I would do here, JT, is kind of got two options here. If we hold this zone here, so a retest. Big Joe, you're going to mute. Sorry. All right. So what I would do here is lost my train of thought here. Yeah. All right. So a breakout retest of this little cluster here. This is the zone to focus on. Like I say in a lot of setups, to me, this is a no zone here unless you're kind of scalping for a day trade, because you can see candles can look good and bad, and we get a kill candle on the bottom side, we get a kill candle on the top side, and it's buyers fighting it out here. So if we open in between here, man, you got to be patient, just set some alerts for the bottom side and either take some puts, or if you don't want to be in puts, just be patient for bigger support bounce. But any holds this level here, man, not gonna lie, I like this setup, but you got to be mindful because of just Friday's price action and these top side wicks here. So a smaller time frame here. You got this little cluster right here is the only concerning thing. So when we're over it, we'll kind of just focus on price action over it. So that's what I always do when I enter a trade. I say, okay, I'm entering here at support. Where is my closest resistance? Where my closest, battle on the way up? So, okay, we open kind of like this. We kind of nibble or trickle in here. Boom, we bounce, you get your entry, your instant green, perfect. So now immediately you got to have a game plan looking left. So these top side wicks on the way up, man, can give you a lot of trouble. And we have daily 20 and daily 9 stacked. So again, clear this. Wait, no, I want to clear that. 1 second. So again, when I always say the daily, guys, if I go to the daily chart, those are stacked overhead, that green, the purple line, because we're pushed up somewhere in here right now. Those are overhead, and those are going to be resistance on the way up. So when we push that, you have to be mindful of that, and you cannot be greedy. So I don't know what percent this is going to pay you, but again, hypothetically, like I always say, I don't care what the percent is, you trim where it tells you to. 242, man, trim, 242.57. The daily 20 is not going to open right there, but somewhere in that 242.50, that daily 20 is going to be overhead. If you start seeing top side wicks and you're like, well, why is it rejecting? If you go the daily time frame, it's probably going to be somewhere around there. So you got to be mindful of that. And then the daily 9 overhead at 244. So if you get the retracement, the easiest thing to do is just look at the previous day price targets and look, if you're going to the upside, you look for top side wicks. So again, easy, target 1, target 2, maybe target 3 here. You draw a line or set an alert, and target 4. But again, any sells below this, man, and we're going to fill this gap and we're going to retrace. So, cut your calls, take your puts, or just wait for a call bounce down into here. Hopefully that helps you, man. DMs are always open. I don't know if we DM at all, but send me a DM if you need help on this, or if you need help on an entry on strike price, stuff like that, man. But again, nice setup, you guys. Good eye on this. I'm liking the retracement we're seeing in the market. There's going to be some opportunity tomorrow, so let's just be patient on some setups. Let's see. Last Carver, you're in here. You got some Amazon 1121 up good. One to hold closer to earnings, October, crashed on Friday. Cool. Let's see. Are you in a partial entry? Last Carver on these Amazon's because it's probably going to be a fairly ugly chart. Feel free to unmute if you want, or just let me know in the chat. Ooh, a lot of overhead. Don't love this. Yeah, brother, don't. Not gonna lie, I do not love this zone here. For anybody looking to get long on Amazon, I do not like this to start right here. You can see this chop zone here, or consolidation, whatever you want to call it. You can see that price reaction both ways, you guys. When we get over that, yeah, we move nice. Under that, we sell hard. You do not want to be in calls. And then in between there, when we go to a smaller time frame, it can just be filled with fake outs back and forth. So if you're red on this, brother, I'm not gonna lie, I do not want you averaging in anywhere in this 220 to 222 basically. I want to get over that 221 for a little bit of confidence, but you know, markets can change quick. So if we see kind of price action like this, so if we kind of see, I'll zoom back to present day, but so if we kind of, because we're kind of going to open right in between there. So if we see some price action like this, like again, look at these wicks both ways on the 1 hour chart. This is fake outs both ways. Late puts are getting smoked, late calls are getting smoked. But if we kind of curl this and do this Monday or Tuesday and close over it, and then we get a multi-day close over that, let me zoom in to present day. But that's kind of what I want to look for. You didn't mention you want to average down, but that's what I got to be, what you want to see hold or to continue to hold. We bounced the daily 200, which is great. But again, man, there's a lot of volume going to be stacked here. And a hard sell through here. There may be some open orders that did not get filled. So on the way up, this could be a very, very tricky spot. There could be a lot of push and pull right into here. So you average down Friday. Where on the chart did you average down? Do you remember like the price level? Because that'll kind of help me greatly. Cool, 219. All right, that's not bad. You average over a recent support. So yeah, game plan, kind of just recapping what I said, the same thing. So I know what'd you say, November contracts? I can't remember what you said in chat, but yeah, this clear as day. This is what has to happen. You got to get over this basically 222. Any sales under 220, it's a cut for me because now your original entry is red, or probably red, and your average down is now red, like I always say. Or at the very, very least, if you're going to hold those because you believe in the play or the company, we crack this, you got to day trade puts. We crack this, you got to day trade puts, and you're going to be down, let's just say $100, $200, $300 on your calls. You got to make that money up on puts. You cannot just hold, and then now you're super red again. You take another average on calls, and we sell. You hedge it absolutely. If you need help with that, send me a DM. But clear as day chart, we know where it gets weak, what level on Amazon. All right. And we got tons of requests. Love it, you guys. Love it. Try and go as quick as I can. Luis, XLF 50 call entry. Does that mean you're in, or are you looking to get in? Did you get in last week? XLF, let's take a look. Oops. Oh, what did I do? Oh, shit. Give me 1 second. Flexible grid. There we go. One of these days I'll figure out this brokerage. XLF. Let's see, 56 call for 1219. Cool. All right, 50. Well, if you're in, I don't know if you're in this or not. Let me know in the chat. Luis, are you still in here? Yep. Oh, you got in at 56. Okay. Where on the chart? That'll help me greatly. Do you remember price level on the chart roughly? I can kind of help guide you through this because it's probably red, depending on, or maybe if you bought the bottom, you're sitting tight, sitting kind of pretty. But if you remember on the chart, was like kind of 52 level, 53. I can kind of help you out on the way up. But as you type or let me know, clear as day here, get some more lines for you because I don't trade this name a lot. I just watch it. But again, going as quick as I can here, you guys. So on the upside again, so all these sell throughs, now I'm focusing on these downside wicks here, guys. Getting some lines for the weeks drawn here and even to the bottom side for possible bounces. But again, this is kind of quick, rough and dirty charting. So what I want to see first and foremost, Luis, is a 52, 56 hold, this kind of cluster here. You can see we sell under that, we fail to break over. We get that sell the downside, we bounce that. How nice the bounces are to the upside. So 30-minute chart here. Again, we can kind of see the price action already forming on where it matters, what we want to see. Yeah, Big Joe, I see your comment for sure. I'll get to as quick as I can, man. So first and foremost, got to watch these two levels here. As we zoomed out on the daily and 4-hour charts here, that's the level to watch. Any sell under that, again, like I mentioned to the previous user, you have December calls, so either cut and admit you're wrong, or you hedge to the downside. Don't just hold stuff red because you got time on it. You have to have a game plan on it. So we break this level here. We're probably going to visit this level pretty damn quick. But any holds of this, got to break over this. Any break and hold of this, daily 9, daily 20 overhead, but a break of structure of this should not signal, but should give sentiment for some buyers to step in. Bank earnings, I think, start next week or in a couple of weeks. So definitely name to watch, your Bank of Americas, stuff like that. Is it Citigroup or Citibank? Pay attention to that. They're going to be reporting this week. So definitely a spot to watch on that. All right. Couple people bailed out. I'm sorry, guys. Turco, Starbucks. Of course, we want to take a look at it because it was an alert, or maybe you're just curious. It's obvious. Where we need to break and hold, same thing, you guys. Did it for the other ones. So we sold under it. We're going to color it red because that's the hurdle we got to get over. If anybody took those calls, I don't know what percent red they closed. Look on my phone. I got time on purpose, and I bought an at the money strike on purpose because if it went against us, I didn't want to be super, super deep red for you guys. I am 10% red, totally manageable. So zoom out here, Starbucks. I don't know if because you're asking because the alert or you just want perspective, but here we go. So I entered, guys, for guys that didn't see this or curious or more curious. I entered here at this big ass support. I just colored it red because that was the bounce zone reactions or the bounce zone reactions we started to see. Sent out a warning that we may see this 78 zone. We sold through 79. We didn't get to 78, which is great so far. I'm hoping we reclaim the 79 because there's a big support zone that needs to be reclaimed, this red zone here. But you can see back here, April 9th of this year, the big reactions off 78. So again, charting education, why I said I will take an average down at 78, because when I see big ass buybacks like that, that gives me confidence that if we get there, we would see the same thing. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, we take a loss, but we keep it manageable because like I said, we close all the way down here and we're only down 10%. You buy time as your safety, your insurance policy, and you buy a strike that matters. You know, I'm not getting you guys into 95 strike calls because it's way out of the money up here. And we could push up and you'd say, hey, we're pushing up a lot. Why are we not making money? What's going to happen if we make money on this is 80 strike is right here. It's not going to take us much, you guys. It's a $1 move from our entry to get us in the money and start getting that big money move, that nice intrinsic value, that nice in the money move on that strike price. So it's clear, it's obvious where we need to get a break over. And I'm going to move this alert up. I'll be watching it tomorrow, of course. I got my downside alert move that down to take an average if we need it. But again, if you guys are not in, same thing. I entered somewhere on one of these candles. Clear as day, trading style I like to trade. Break over retest. If you believe in my setup and my trading style, take your entry here, or even better, 79.55. A break and hold at 79.55 is even better because we're claiming this little volume shelf that is sitting here. We're holding over that. That's an even better confirmation at 79.55. You have to pay a little bit more, but it's a little bit higher probability setup. The risk reward is a little lower down here because if you don't want to take an average down, you know where you're cutting at. But clear as day, you guys. Best case scenario for us, obviously a breakout. You know, worst case scenario, we break down again. But at the bare minimum, I'm looking to see some consolidation here. If we get the breakout, yeah, we're going to take the money. But what I'm seeing here on the daily, and I'll quickly move on because I know we got more requests, is like I say to you guys, sometimes we sell, we see oversold charts. Like look how far down we are from the daily 9. We're 5% off the daily 9 moving average. So I'm looking at stuff like this. When I see a big retracement down off the daily 9 or the daily moving average overhead, and we come into key support zones, we bounce. And that's bare minimum. What I'm looking for is consolidation and a breakout, or a break and retest and hold, and we go get these levels on the way up. So hopefully that happens. I would love to hit those 81, 81.50 this week. Who knows? But we got November contracts, so we'll see what happens with it. All right. Okay, trying to get caught up with the chat as usual. That person left. Z, thanks for sticking around. Let's look at Oscar, I think it is, or I just call it Oscar, OSCR. Yes. Z, are you in this one? Let's see, take a look. Okay, sorry. 42 call, 1017 at 140. Really down. Oh, gotta have those stops, brother. I know it's in hindsight, but gotta have stops or we gotta hedge, you guys. 24 call, 1017. Yeah, you're probably getting chewed up pretty bad. So again, I don't like to tell people when to take an average, but if you're already in, you know, my mindset is, well, if you held, why not take a small average if you're not in heavy at a support? So this level here, let's see where we're at on an intraday look. Yep, we bounced it. So actually this 20 mark here. So Z, look here on the daily, this thick line. Sorry, I need to go back. We are attempting to break over it. So again, bread and butter trading, breakout, retest. We need to get over that. We need to go over that 20. Kind of no man's land in between. If you didn't get an average at Friday at close, doesn't sound like you did, obviously in hindsight. But so we got a big support here at 1885 and a big support at 20 flat, and the daily 9 not for overhead. So you can see if we break this downtrend, that's good. But you're in a 1017. You need to move like Monday, Tuesday, like stat. You need to move to happen, excuse me, quick. But a break a trend line and Trump tweets some bullish whatever on China. You know, China's our friend again. They didn't say what they meant, or I didn't say what I meant. And we pump, break and retest, and we move, start clearing these lows. So these stair step downs and stair steps on the way up, that's gonna be resistance all the way up, man. So again, you gotta play the chart. We start pushing up, rejecting this 21 zone. Well, the daily 9 and this cluster here, that's what's going to be smacking it down. So we need some volume on the way up because all this stair step down that are causing the trigger. So like in hindsight, this is the easiest chart to trade. You got a low one day, the next day you fail to break over, you short it. You make a low the next day, fail to break out, you short it. You make a low the next day, fail to break out, you short it. Like this is obviously hindsight trading, but puts on a failed break of the low. So on the way up, this is going to be tricky all the way up. Not going to sugarcoat it. You got a lot working against you. If you're not getting the move, man, but we start consolidating here, close for a loss, roll into November, and just mentally try and shake off that loss for sure. All right. Finally getting caught up. All right. iPhone, Alibaba. flow was hitting on Friday. I don't know if it was sentiment from, I don't know if it'd be right sentiment for China, a China bet, but I've seen some flow hitting. So on the daily here, let's get some lines going. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna write down these names, see how many we got left here. Oh yeah, we're getting caught up. We're sitting pretty. Let's score that football game, guys. Anybody know? Alibaba. Let me get some lines for you here. iPhone. Let's see where we stopped, where we're bouncing, why we're bouncing. Why is my drawing mode not working? There we go. Bouncing that wick there, topside wick there. I'll zoom in for you. Give me 1 second. Just gonna big picture here. On the way up, what do we have working against us? Where are we at now? We're 165. All right, cool. So somewhere in here, this cluster. I don't know if you're in this or looking to be. Let's see. Doesn't really say. All right. So I'll be quick with it in case there's some more requests. But same thing, you guys. Sold down, close at a big support, and on the way up, we have all this working against us on the way up. So, ooh, look at this right here. So definitely some things working against them if they're in this, but if they want some perspective. So tricky zone here. Consolidation, breakout. And what do we do? Kill candle through there. So now on the way up, quick drink of water. On the way up, guys, this is kind of swing trading. No go zone for me in here, but same theme of all night. Breakout retest. We've cleared resistance. Green light for calls. Again, scalping here, day trading here, back and forth. I don't want to be bullish or bearish in here because you get bearish and we bounce this and you don't sell, or we get bullish up here, reject it, you don't sell. So any sells under, this move is going to happen pretty quick. Don't believe me. We sold through. The retest candle sold through quick for sure. So that's the spot to watch there on Baba. All right. Brian, thank you for sticking around. NOW. Let's take a look. You in this one? Let me see. Feel free to unmute, brother. Or just let me know in the chat. NOW. Service now. Do I got any lines? I don't know if I've charted this one before. Let's see, a little bit of a trend line possibly. In with an average cost of 950. Do I add low or just cut? All right, so shares, let's zoom way out. Let me check the weekly, see what. Cool. Back to the daily. First question is, was this a share flip or a long-term hold? Because those are two different mindsets. A share flip is you got in here and you were wrong, and now you're looking to maybe average down or get out. A long-term hold is your dollar cost averaging, and you're going to sell this in 20 or 30 years or 10 years, whatever it is, or if we get some good news and you just break out over it. So it's kind of different mindset. Both are okay. Just let me know kind of what you want to do here in the chat, and I'll kind of help you out. Because if you want to do a share flip and you're red, then I need to find out where we need to get out. But if it's a long-term hold, cool, you like it, cool. Are you in a, let's see, are you in a full position yet or still? So again, like if your intended position, this is super expensive. So let's just say, well, I don't know if you wanted to even $5,000 outsize. Okay, we don't want that. Earnings are coming up. Let's figure out a plan here for you. So you're at 950. So you are 6% red. That's not a lot, but you're heavy, so you're probably sweating a little bit. Not going to dog on you for that. Just use it as a learning example. So this thick line here, green line, easy to see on your phones and whatever. That's kind of the spot to watch, man, because you can see, obviously we have other spots in here, but we're just going to kind of call this the middle range. This is our top range, is kind of our lower range here. So you can kind of see that this price action, when we break over it, we can move up. We break under, same theme as my charting all night, all week, week after week. We break under, we kind of leg down the next level. And on the flip side, when we bounce this, what do? We bounce the next level. When we bounce this, we bounce the next level. So where do we close at here? Let's see intraday, this green line. So you got some stuff working against you. Percent wise, 6% is nothing. That's nothing on shares, or at least in my mind. So the dollar amount you're probably in too heavy is probably scaring you. So, just use that as a learning experience, like I said. But any break over this 920, brother, and it's you're back. The game plan should be the same. But if we start stair stepping down, you either need to reduce size, especially as we come into October 29th earnings report, because if we start stepping down, that dollar amount is too big for you. Like you kind of mentioned in the chat, you're outsized, and so we don't want that with anybody. But again, we can see here all this price action right around here, bouncing, bounce, and we sell under, rejection, 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 rejection. So what do we need to do on the upside? We need to clear 920. We would reclaim the daily 9, and probably the daily 20 would curl underneath us. So we do that, and you're going to start getting structure, hopefully to the upside, to slowly stair step. I don't know if it moves this fast, but we'll stair step down. It's never that easy. Back up to your entry and back up to your hopeful original game plan. But again, we keep seeing rejections here. What's going to happen? You're back 6% red or whatever, and now you're going to be down more. And so this 890, you either reduce, or if that position is too heavy for you, and I see you have some 1017 calls, a 980 call that is too far out of the money. I don't know when you bought that. That is probably a cut for me. Definitely tomorrow if we don't get any substantial move up, because you're just you're $70 out of the money. Little quick lesson. I don't know how many you bought, but if you bought a bunch and you bought them, within like this time frame, you need to scale back and get a closer strike. So you buy more time November and you get a closer strike, because November contracts, they're going to be more money, but you're going to buy less. So again, this is probably a very expensive contract. You buy less contracts, a larger strike, or a longer expiration strike date. Losing my train of thought. All right. Big Joe, you still in here? You've been waiting, man.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
What's up, man?
Dude, man, I think this thing is gonna launch, bro. But I think before it launches, I think it might retest. I just wanted to get a little confirmation on that. What do you think on that?
Let me get the right ticker going, but let me look. IONQ. I did G.
That is correct, bro. I went all the way to the top, man, and that thing looks fucking amazing. Just broke new all-time highs. I think it's gonna retest, and then we shoot higher. But I think this thing's got potential. I don't know what you think on it.
I'll take a look. I hate shit all-time highs. I'm not going to sugarcoat that, but we'll get you back to this level for sure, man. Do you have anything now, or are you just looking to get back in?
Nothing right now. I just cashed out my last week. I got that pretty good downfall on Friday, so I made some good money. Yeah, then I was just looking at this over the weekend. My dad kind of brought it up to my attention. I was like, yeah, take a look, and I kind of liked what I saw. I said, support resistance level, trend lines. It looks like it wants to break to the upside trend. So I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
for sure, man.
I think it might be,
Yeah, this 70. Let me see. The 70, kind of a tricky spot. Sorry about my dog, guys, if you can hear that. All right, the 70.44 pocket. I like that for sure, man. Clear as day, like I always say. We can see where the price action's at. When we fail that level, we sell under it. When we bounce it, we bounce hard. We sell under it, we sell hard, bounce. You get the point. So we bounce that Friday. So if you're not in there, man, it's tricky, because now look at this spot here. Look left. We got that wick that's going to be resistance. We look left even more. And we got this cluster here. I don't want you getting long here at 76, because if that fails, to me, in my eyes, if I'm in shares, I go, okay, I tried to catch a breakout, it failed. Now I got to sit through this downside move, a $6 move to the downside. Shares, obviously, if you're in short dated calls, I wouldn't say hold a $6 move against you. But how I trade, you can see we fail 76. What happens? Boom, big support back down. We break that. What do we do? The upside, boom, big move up. And so that move right there, I'll zoom in for you real quick. On that move. But so if you want to be in shares or options, 70 is a I need to see, let me get out of this drawing mode real quick here. I got to see a break and
Hey, what's up,
retest.
dude? Hey, how you doing? My bad. I'm kind of like in a Zoom meeting. Yeah, that's thank you. Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. I got to see a break and retest of this little structure, basically 76 flat, man, because if we hold this level, I'm looking for price action like this.
Mhm.
I'm looking for price action like this
Yeah.
to the upside. If 76 fails, we're going to see that, man. So be patient and send alert for 76, man.
Oh, sounds good to me, man.
Oh, you're on the moon, brothers. Flips you say I can't hear. I'm gonna mute you real quick though. See if there's any other requests. Let's see here. All right, got that one. Got that one. Got that one. All right, guys, we're caught up. I'll do a quick recap on. All right, Z Apple, and then we're done, brother. If you guys got to jet out of here, appreciate you sticking around. Super good request, you guys, in full house tonight. We had almost 30 people, which is pretty good for me on Sunday night scan. Appreciate you guys putting in the time. That's all the requests, but if you guys want to stick around for Apple, you can, and then we'll call it. And then, as always, you guys send me a chart on something you're looking at, and say, hey, I want to try and enter calls here. I'm not sure about my charting. What do you think? Or I want to get bearish here. What do you think? But at least send me a chart, you guys. Let me know you're putting in the work. Like I always say, if you just say, hey, Apple calls here in my DMs, I'm just not going to say anything, because you got to put in some work, you guys. You want to, when you guys turn self-sufficient trading on your own, it is a beautiful feeling. And that's the only reason I'm doing it. I'm not doing it to be a jerk. I'm doing it so you guys can learn, because it is a cool thing when you can make some money on your own consistently. Apple here, 248.82. Let's take a look at that. I want to see where that stopped. Don't know if that was all-time high here. Let's kick back a little bit. What did I say, that 245? 248. So look back. Yeah, you see this, right here, man? At least how I trade, man. That's a big spot to watch there. So going back, December a year ago. So kind of nice round trip for Apple. Sold down early this year, right? Yeah, and fought its way back. So basically, if you hold Apple for a year, you are now green, and now you break even. So this big thick line here, 248.82, we can see we fail to break over that. That's kind of spooky there. So going to our 30-minute. Oh, Dave, sorry, I think I did skip you. A weekly SPX or a monthly? Let me know what strike you're looking at, brother. If it's a good strike, I'll tell you what I would do. If it's a stupid strike and you want to do SPX just because, I'm going to tell you it's dumb. But I apologize, I skipped that. I did see that earlier. But let me know what strike you're looking at. Because if you can legit afford it, then I'll say go for it, and I'll tell you where. But if you're just doing a monthly expiration that costs you 80 cents, that is foolish. User Z, 248.82, and you Apple lovers, what do we see here? Consolidation, breakdown, retest, failure. Where are we going to open as of now? Opening at that. Break and retest is a go for calls, because we're negating all this to the downside. For now, at this level, sellers are giving up, and we can possibly push to that 251.10 and the daily 20 moving average. A fail below this, it's obvious. What happens when we go below this? Just look at Friday's price action. When that support fails, we get that price action. So break below that, getting your puts, you trim all the way down. All these retest clusters, when we step down, you trim all the way down. Super easy chart, at least how I like to trade, you guys. Nice request though. Dave, what November 3rd, I mean, yeah, if you can afford it. I mean, you're buying a $10,000 contract. Why SPX, Dave? Why not SPY? Let's just see what that delta is. $7,000. Look at that delta. What do we know about delta, guys? Not gonna roast you, just gonna educate you. Delta says percent chance of going in the money, 3% chance of going in the money. When I buy swings, you guys, my delta is a 0.3 or higher. 0.3 or higher. So for me, Dave, if I'm being honest, you need to be somewhere up in here. 67.30 and closer strike. And if you can't afford it, you shouldn't be playing it. And it's not just because it's SPX. I say it for anything. It's it for Bank of America. It's it for Walmart. A delta 0.3 or higher is what you want. So, I mean, you're buying this because it's cheap. It's $1.75, and you're gonna buy 5 of them. Let's just say they're $1, so it's easy math. So total entry is $500. You know what you do is you go, like I said, you go less out of the money and you buy less contracts. But this just seems like a gamble, man. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't like it. I'm not trying to roast you. Maybe you're trying to learn, but trade SPY. There's no reason to take a monthly SPX this far out of the money with a 0.2 delta. It's just not a good trade. You can trade SPY. Send me a DM, brother. Like I said, I'm not trying to roast you. Send me a DM if you want some more help on swing trading. Like just trade SPY. The people obsessed with SPX is just, you know, we kind of got rid of it with Flips, not trying to rag on him, and now it's kind of back in the chat. It was good for like a week. No one really talked about it. Now it's back. But November 7th. Let's find you a 0.3 delta just for education, and then I'm going to wrap this class. So right now we are trading at right here 661. Same expiration. I know it's November 7th, but you get the point. A 0.3 delta is only going to cost you $400. SPX was $6,000. Okay, so you got to pick a reasonable strike that makes sense. It's got to make sense. It has to make sense. Oh, gold, and that is the absolutely last one. Are you in this one, or want to be in? I always tell people, talk to a Joe named Joe. He knows how to trade these gold markets purely from a technical standpoint. No, I don't like it. I don't like the setup, but again, it's moving for kind of market internals, market sentiment, you know, safe haven, so to speak, sometimes. And so I don't like that here, but if you think this trade can work, go for it. But for me, 1, 2, 3 triple top there purely from a technical standpoint. But like I said, gold, silver, talk to Tilio, talk to Joe named Joe, talk to River if you want. But like I said, I'm not good with these names with this these precious metal setups. So with that, you guys, I'm in the chat. Thank you for sticking around, the guys that did. I'll see you guys this week. Let's have a great week, you guys. Trade smart, you guys. Any tweet, as we know, can make or break your portfolio. So turn those stops on, you guys. Have a good night.